Hey you guys, welcome back to another bullet journal process video with me. So this week, I'm documenting a week back in February. It's been a while. I had this video edited, but I wanted to do a voiceover because sometimes I feel like sometimes the videos need it, and I know some people prefer voiceovers as opposed to just the music over. So I try to go, 1 week or one video with no voiceover, the other week with a voiceover, just to give it a little bit of variety. But anywho, so this week, I did like kind of like before I started this week's layout, I kind of just looked back at my other week's layout, and I was just wanting to add a little bit more color to my pages. So I decided to do that. So I'm going to be adding more color to my backgrounds. And yeah, so I just did my date stamping, or my weekly dates, in those really fun circle, like where it says Mondays. I just really love those stamps. Those are basically the $1.50 stamps that you can get at Michael's. And I have about like 6-7 packs of those, of just like different designs, just because I love them so much. And I really love having my that monthly calendar always on my weekly spreads. I just think it's a really nice quick indicator for me to look back at what week we were in. And I really loved having that week. And for this week, I decided to use a digital stamp. I don't remember who the artist is. I'm so sorry. It was literally like the stamp was just in my stash, and I just grabbed it. And basically, this week was my payday week, and I'm just kind of budgeting my allowances here. So I like to do that, and whenever I get paid, just in case I have any other expenses. So I found this image on Pinterest. I love Pinterest for all my images and my quotes that I get in my journals and my bullet journal. Pinterest is my love, you guys. So yeah, so I found this image on Pinterest. I'm just coloring her in with my gouaches. I bought myself gouaches, I think back in December, and I've been really trying to play around with them. I'm so used to watercolors, and gouaches and watercolors are very different, but it's been really fun working with them. And so I'm using both watercolors and gouaches, but I really mainly wanted to use my gouaches just to try them out a little bit more. So they're stronger. They're more like, there's a hybrid between acrylic paints and watercolors. And so what I don't like about gouaches is that they reactivate with water, and I'm always paranoid that I'm going to spill water on my notebook and it's just going to spread everywhere, because for sure if you spill water on this notebook, the gouache will just completely rub off. But watercolors, even though they do reactivate a little bit with water, it's nothing near like gouaches, but I like how opaque the gouaches are. So I don't know. I'm still messing around with gouaches in general. So like I said, I've been going through a lot in my personal life, and for me, quotes just hit home so strong with me. So I love quotes like no other. Like, I find strength in quotes. And so every week I like to have like a quote in my journal, just kind of like to reaffirm things. And I found this quote that I just love. Well, it's not a quote, but it's like a saying, the mirror mirror one. Oh my gosh, I just loved it so much. And I like how Coraline is like looking into the mirror. So it ended up working out. I really like the way the whole aesthetic looked of that. And I also started watching during this week. I finished season 1 already, but I watched Dark, which is on Netflix, and I love that show, that episode, or the show, you guys. It's so good. So I definitely recommend Dark for anybody who likes it, who likes kind of like science fiction, I guess, a little bit. It kind of reminds me of Stranger Things, but not different than Stranger Things, but kind of the same premise, I guess. I don't know. I recommend Dark. But yeah, so I started watching the show Dark, and I just really loved it. some people have commented how they really like the way I watercolor, which I think is so nice. So if you've left me a comment saying that you really appreciate and like my watercoloring, thank you so much, because half the time I just do whatever I think I'm supposed to be doing. But yeah, so I decided to leave in a little bit more portion of me watercoloring. And as you can see, I did make like a little, my watercolor smeared onto the yellow, smeared onto the guys' pants. But I don't freak out, because with watercolor, it's so easy. It's such a forgiving medium, watercolor. So I rarely kind of panic when I'm working with watercolors. That's why I love them so much, because they just are an easy medium to work with. So I decided to, with the dark little design that I'm drawing, you have to use a white, but my white gel pen was not working. So like literally the next day I went and I bought some paint pens, and I've been wanting to try these Dylusion paint pens for a while. And oh my gosh, you guys, I love them so much. You can just immediately, did you tell? Like, you can immediately tell the difference between between my white gel pen and the paint pens. They worked so much nicer. I want to go and buy all the paint pens I can. I don't know. I've been loving these. So, and the Dylusion ones, the Diane Reevely Dylusion paint pens in particular, are the nib is so small. They worked perfectly for this. And I injured myself, you guys. I just remembered I injured myself this week, and oh my gosh, it was just horrible. So I don't always, so sometimes when you see like a huge jump between like my pages and my dates, is because I can't craft, or I can't like journal on my desk or something like that. Like, this is, this is my everyday life, and it doesn't always work good for filming videos, but I try my hardest. So yeah. So I mentioned at the beginning of my video that I really wanted to incorporate more color into my layouts, and this is where I kind of took that leap of faith. I wasn't really sure what color I should color this background in, and I just decided to go with green. I don't know, I took a leap of faith, and I really like the way it ended up working out. I just like the pop of color that's going on there. It's different than my other layouts, and same here. So I like the way I did the green, so I decided, hey, let me frame out this photo of me with some purple. So I decided to do some purple outlining that I'm going to eventually put a photo on top of it. And like I mentioned, oh my gosh, I got injured this week. This week was so hard on my body. I ended up tearing my calf muscle. It's like a sprained calf muscle when I was swimming. And oh my gosh, so I was out for swimming for I think a week, and then I was just sick. Like, February was a really, really, really tough month for me, just injuries and sickness wise. Like, I just was just horrible, and like emotionally, the end of the month really just took it out of me. But this picture I wanted to put this in there because I wouldn't put this picture in my Project Life album, because I do Project Life, but I wouldn't put this in my Project Life album just because this is like a random quick memory. And it was just like, I went out with some friends for dinner, and I decided, like in October here in California where I live, it's always so hot, and I didn't get to wear my Halloween sweaters at all last year in 2017. So I was like, you know what, hey, I'm gonna wear my Halloween shirt to go to dinner. And I thought I was like rocking it, and it's just so ridiculous because it was like February, the month of love, and I'm wearing my like scary Halloween shirt. So that's like, I just wanted to like put that in my journal just to record that fun memory of me trying to dress up and go out with friends. So yeah, so I'm just finishing up my notebook with some adding more colors to it. Like I said, I just really wanted to have this be super colory, and I didn't know, I really like the way this ended up coming up. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and thanks for watching. Bye.